Hello y'all, this is Marie reporting from her big oak tree. Me and my big oak in my garden in summer vibes. I think, don't want to speak too soon, I think summer is coming. Cape Town is very diverse. Those of you know Cape Town, tomorrow it's probably going to be snowing and I'll be reporting here with my bobble hat on. Who knows? Anyway, today is quite symbolic on how I feel because I feel that I've just escaped one of the biggest traumas I've been through in my life because the energies have been so flippin' intense. It's absolutely annihilated me and many others, pretty much everybody I speak to, because we've just gone through the full moon energies, which is why I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, because I've not been able to do anything except maybe type a few posts. That's all I've had in me. I have had severe migraines this week. I don't suffer with headaches, so a migraine was completely left field, and you know, I just lay there for some days just holding myself, couldn't read a book, couldn't meditate, couldn't do anything to take myself out of it, just had to just sit there and let it move through. The most debilitating, frustrating, because I was obviously fighting against it, because that's what we do, and just lonely and dark time, because along with the pain, this physical intense headache, along with that came all the emotional stuff, and it was really powerful. And I was looking at all of these old programs and old negative belief systems, and I was starting to believe them at one point and thinking, disillusionment, what's the point? And just feeling like my whole life was closing in on me and everything was wrong, and no. Don't believe the hype. I say it every single time, because that's the illusion that's crashing down. The trueness and the truth of who we are is that those moments after these big purges that we feel like just completely expansive and full of joy. Today, for me, this is the one. This is the first day I felt like that, and it's so symbolic because the sun's in the sky. You know, I'm feeling so optimistic and just like, yes, this is amazing, and I feel like a rebirth has gone on, which is quite interesting. If you look at my oak tree there, this is where I do all my offerings and that right there. But you can see that this oak tree is like a womb. It's like a birthing place. It's this tree. Oh, he's so powerful. One of my guides. And this is why I like to do the work down here, because you know that's symbolic of this. It's a rebirth, and it's a rebirth this time round like no other. Okay, because these energies, this came in with a full moon, right? So we all got smacked deluxe. But you know, I've said it before and I say it again, this intense upgrade, these intense purges pretty much started to ramp up. Well, it's ramped up the whole of this year, right? I mean, let's keep it real. But it really took a turn for the worst or the better, whichever way you want to look at it, from the end of July, okay? And then we really went in and we just got hit with another full moon, and then this and then that. And I don't think any of us have had a reprieve where we've had some weeks that go by and we go, yeah, we're vibing. We've literally had a day, if you're lucky, if you're one of the lucky ones, you've had a day where you're like, this is great, and then smack. So just as it's like being hit by a big wave, just as you get air smack. Just looking at a big hawk over my head, who's obviously completely agreeing with what we're talking about now, so the elements are agreeing with what I'm saying here. Going back to what I was saying, popping the head up out of the water, smack, can't breathe. And it was just been like that. And now, today, I truly feel that we have turned a massive corner. And if you're still in it, trust me and know, like really know that your day like this, your expansive day is coming very soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. But I really do feel like we're kind of coming out of it now. So what is really interesting, because the darkness I've been through of recent was very indicative of old programs playing out. I'm actually sick of my own bullshit. I'm actually sick of the story. It's like I watched this movie. It's a bit like Mary Poppins. You know, as kids, we've watched it over and over again. We know the words and we know the songs. Eventually it gets really boring and you're like, ugh, don't want to watch this movie again. And you're sick of it. That is basically my spiritual path up until this week. So what happened with me, I mean, we all have our versions of sabotage, right? So basically our stories are our sabotage, which stops us from being in our fullness, okay? And that can be, with you, it might be relationships. With somebody else, it might be fear of money. With somebody else, it might just be physical pain. We all have these tools that we've basically used to keep us small because it keeps us safe. So these tools, this story for you individually, is what I call a looping. So what happens when I say I'm sick of my own bullshit? The same story and the same scenario plays out over and over again. Now for me, everything is about being in service. Everything is about doing what I do, this in the highest level of service, you know, sharing the information, helping as many people as possible without losing myself, not being scared about being seen. I mean, it's a whole thing, okay? That's for me. So of recent this week, you know, I've had issues to do with my business and growing my business, and I've hit a few bumps in the road, but it's not about the growing my business, not about that's the issue. It was the energy that came with it, which was I'm failing. And that feeling of failure has happened to me. I was thinking about it all my life, actually. From when I left school, I wanted to think big. 17 years old, I held like all the big raves, big international DJs I used to bring. 17 years old. And I would fail at it because basically I was just too young, but I was almost like punching above my weight. And then I would kind of get into the gym industry, and then I'd open big studios and I'd be like, yeah, here I am. And then it would obviously fail, and then I'd go small again. And then I came to Cape Town, and I opened up one of the first aerial studios, and I redesigned it and I called it Aerology and all this kind of thing. Completely invested in it. I was like, this is the way to go. And it, in my eyes, failed. And each and every one of these experiences basically was just like looping. I'd be creative, I'd be expansive, I'm like, yeah, facing my fears, gonna be seen, and then it never came into fruition. But this is the crux of it. Where you need to understand is what I did is after that happened, I went small, I went into victim mode, and then I kind of crawled back into the womb, never to be seen for some time, because I was like, oh, that was really traumatic. I'm not doing that again, because why would I want to put my hand in the fire? Because it's going to burn me, and I don't want to go through that trauma anymore. So let me just go backwards. So that's what I did time and time and time again. Now, just recently, I have invested in a very, very big idea to do with what I do, to do with my business, and it's not worked out for me. And then I obviously pulled out of this whole venture, and I basically gone failure. This was the wrong way to go. I wasn't getting out of it what I was supposed to get out of it, and I thought, oh my God, I failed. And I was like, hang on a minute. We've been here so many times before. So this is where you drive your ship in a different direction. This is a game now. Do I, A, feel that feeling of failure and go retreat and climb back up into the womb and do what I've always done? Or do I take a beat, take a breath, expand and say, right, that was a whole bevy and you know, and an experience of knowledge and wisdom. I've learned so much. Let me expand on to the next level. Where do I go from here? So instead of retreating, do I go even bigger? And that is where I've turned my shit around, because you might find that these stories are the same old things playing over and over and over again. So the question is, whatever it is that you're going through or you're being challenged with right now, are you expanding or are you contracting? That has been the problem, because we basically have this bipolar energy going on. It's not gonna fly. That shit ain't gonna work for you anymore. So you have to make a conscious decision. And is it gonna be less stingy? No, this shit has scared the living daylights out of me. Do I wanna walk forward beyond this? No, I'd rather just climb back up there because it's comfortable and warm, but I can't, because the thing is I'll get stuck in the same loop. So what can I do differently that's gonna bring me different results, which is gonna expand my vibration, tap into something new, unlock all this wisdom and codes inside of me that's waiting to be utilized for my next level of mastery. That's how this shit works, you know? So you got to look at it like that as to where we're going with all of this, you know? So if that applies to you, maybe just take a beat, give yourself a lot of love and support, and think about where you're going to go to next, because it ain't up there, let me tell you. Not unless you want to be repetitive cycle. No one got time for that, you know? So create your new default, all right? That's what this is all about. So now I want to talk about the unicorns. Okay, work with me here, because some people just say, oh my God, she's away with the fairies. But let me tell you, unicorn energy is so powerful. It's so powerful. It really, really is. It's you know, and it's a thing along with dragons and everything like that. This is the elementals, very, very powerful energies that we work with. So, you know, they're out there just as they are with the angels and the galactics, you know. So the unicorn energy is very, very powerful. And that has come in like a little bit of a freight train for me. And I reconnected with them about a week or so ago by accident, and I connected with my unicorn, which is Arion. And yeah, he came through quite powerfully, but I haven't actually done anything with him because I was like, okay, I accidentally did a workshop. It just pinged up on my phone. I thought, hey, I'm going to do that. Ended up connecting with Arion and was like, well, that was powerful. That was really cool. Flash forward 10 days, 2 weeks later, I go through this massive like head. Oh my God, this is so sore. I also speak to other sisters that are in the light working circle, all suffering with very, very powerful headaches. And also being connected with unicorns. And let me tell you, these people don't usually work with unicorns like me. I'm more of an Isis kind of chick, you know what I mean? And then unicorns. Anyway, they are not, I mean, they're not soft energy at all. And they're not just for little kids. They are powerhouses. So anyway, we've all got the same message. They enter through the causal chakra, which is just a little bit behind your head here. And as they come in, it's like a moon, your own personal moon that sits just above your head here. Some say your causal chakra has now moved here. It's basically, I feel it back here. So the unicorns enter through this moon, and you've got to stretch it wide open as they come in. So the causal chakra is directly connected with the mental body. The mental body is all about thinking. Thinking is all to do with the brain. So now I was like, oh, okay, now I'm understanding here. This is a huge, huge activation because I have now since learned that when the unicorns come and they connect with you, that is when you're at a certain time on your path that you're ready and you're stuck into your journey. You're certain, you know, you certainly know where you're going and what you're doing, and they come to the people that are ready to actually vibe with that. So just because you don't have a headache or whatever doesn't mean that they're not there. I'm just saying, like, my message was I have had an activation with them, and they are here on this planet doing some powerful, powerful work. They help you with alignment. They just help you with everything. Alignment. They help with world service. So basically you can bring the energy of the unicorns through you and to any parts in the world that need their help and assistance and guidance. So you can act as like a crystal communicator through you, having their energy come through you other places. And also, like, you know, like I say, they work with abundance, they work with synchronicities. Work with them. It's all about co-creation. And that now has me understanding this is a big activation for all of us. There are new energies that are coming onto the planet. There are new energies and guides that are coming through you, because I have my go-to set of guides, which is always Osiris, Isis, and all the Egyptian Neteru. But now all of a sudden I've been placed with the energies of Bast or Bastet, and I've not actually worked with the feline frequency. I've worked with the Sekhmet, yes, but not Bastet. And then in comes the unicorn energy at the same time. So I've had a complete redirection going, right, never worked with these beings before, not properly. So this is what's happening. So if that is happening to me, it's happening to you, because you are me and I am you. So this will basically translate into your life somewhere, somehow. Even if you're not visually or hearing it or whatever, trust me, there is what I call a changing of the guard. And a changing of the guard, when I use that terminology, basically means that everything that you once did, some guides now, completion, end of contract, they step back, new guides come in. Now there is a period and a phase in between that when there's extreme quietness. I'm gonna say tiredness then, but like extreme quietness, and you get a bit jiffy and go, there's nobody here, there's nobody here. And then all of a sudden you get new guides come in. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, while I was sat in my bed for a week, rocking backwards and forwards, going, oh my God, I just need to die and get out of this physical body. What was actually happening was there was a huge upgrade, so I could get my frequency to a certain level. I could open certain chakras to bring through certain beings, so I can continue to do my work in a much higher level, higher levels of mastery. Remember, this is what this is all about. So this is all about coming into your divine feminine masculine union. This is about your twin flame union. Remember, the twin flame union is with self, because you are uniting with your beloved. You are your beloved. You are God frequency. You are part of it all. So remember, it's what we call the I am union. That's what this whole journey in this trip is about. Okay, this mad crazy trip. So that's kind of what we've got going on at the moment. So if you have been suffering from headaches, open the crown chakra more, open your causal chakra more, and just work with it. There are certain elements of this, honeys. If you're sick and you're going through it, you just got to ride the wave there, and you've got to just support yourself in that. Eat what you need to eat, even if it's like 5 million muffins or nothing at all. Do you know what I mean? No one cares. It doesn't matter. You will stabilize and you'll realign just now. So I just wanted to get this kind of like energy energy check, as it were, out there, because there's a lot going on. And since I've come out of my upgrade, for want of a better word, I have got video posts for days. So don't be surprised if you see me 4 times a day on your newsfeed or on Instagram, because there's a lot that I want to share, because now I'm having epiphany after epiphany. So reach out if you need help to me or to anyone else around you, because you're not on your own. Rest and be comforted that you can rest, no guilt, knowing that you'll be still and able to process a lot quicker and let the work happen if you do so. And this too shall pass. It's intense times, guys, and you're moving through it like a boss. Even though you don't think, get rid of that word think, you are. You are. So let yourself be held. And I'm sending you a lot of love, and thank you for listening to what I think might be quite a long video. It was meant to be short. But anyway, you know how I'll roll now. Peace.